When it came to this season and we missed out on top 4 as Chelsea Football Club, I told you guys we're in big trouble. And the reason I said we're in big trouble is it doesn't matter how much money you have, some players are not going to be tempted by the mullah, the cheddar and the dough. The reason being is they want UEFA Champions League football, and in this case Maignan has literally given us a big middle finger and he told us, I'm not coming. Yes, Maignan has basically rejected Chelsea. We've got the news around that, and all of a sudden now Chelsea have set their sights onto a striker from Villarreal that I don't know about you, but I have never heard of. And a quick little check on YouTube, I don't understand what he's good at. Most probably you're going to be a fantastic player, most probably going to be a great player, but at the same time for 30 million pounds he could easily be a bust. And I am going to break down the move. I'm going to talk about what Chelsea are doing, and more importantly there were some mistakes from Pochettino that I'm already seeing. The other day I spoke about the Ugarte mistake. A lot of you didn't like that, and now mistake number 2 is coming up. Apparently Kepa's gonna be the number 1. Yes, you heard me right, and we're gonna get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, and in today's video we have got a jam-packed one. 2 topics, but each one of them is juicy and fruity like the ananas in the Dominican Republic where I'm currently located. And for those of you that don't speak Spanish or Russian, ananas is pineapple. Juicy, beautiful, absolutely sweet. Now we're gonna break it down and we're gonna get into it. First, I want you guys to hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes. YouTube has been shagging me recently and not sending the notifications to people, and you lot haven't been watching, so make sure you hit that bell notification and subscribe. And in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there. That's the best way you'll know what I'm getting up to, and more importantly DM me your football related questions and anything you want me to talk about. The other day someone wanted an Onana conversation, and guess what, I made a video talking about Onana, so I'm very responsive. But now let's get into the big news of mine. So for those of you that have watched this channel for a while, thank you very much. And for those of you that haven't been watching it on you, welcome to the channel. Bratuhi. Bratuhi means bro in my language, so appreciate it. If you guys start using the lingo in the comments below, it makes us feel close to home. But Bratuhi, you all know I've been messing around a lot and saying we need a new goalkeeper. We're not going to win anything substantial, i.e. the league, with Kepa Arrizabalaga or Edu Mendy. Edu Mendy is a very good goalkeeper, but just not consistent enough. And Kepa just gets beaten by long shots too many times, and I've seen enough of a sample size to know that I can't trust this man. So the reality is, if the evidence is there and I can't trust him, why on earth am I going to be keeping him as my number 1? And what is horrible to see right now is that Chelsea have actively tried to go and replace these goalkeepers, and one of the people they have spoken to is Maignan. And Maignan for me is the top 3 goalkeepers in the world. He currently plays for AC Milan. Very good with his kicking, very mobile with his feet, and more importantly, he's a top shot stopper. What I like about him is his ability to make saves, his ability to lead, and his ability to retrieve crosses. And I think that is an understated skill set most people always lack, right? The ability when a cross is coming in, come out, my ball, keeper's ball, attack done, over. Edu is very good at that, and I actually love him for it. Maignan said he's not interested with Chelsea. Chelsea have sent their representatives to Italy to speak to him prior to negotiating a deal with Milan, because they wanted to know if the player was interested. 27-year-old Maignan said no, he wants Champions League football, and this makes sense. Guys, he's 27. He can't be taking risks that next year we're going to be back in the Champions League and all of a sudden signing a 5-year deal and 2 years of his career goes and Chelsea aren't in the Champions League. And this was the risk that we took when we sacked Thomas Tuchel and brought in a novice in Graham Potter. This was the risk when we got rid of Graham Potter and sacrificed this season by bringing in Frank Lampard for the remaining 10 games. This was the risk that we eventually have uptaken as a club to disappoint ourselves in the near future, while now being at the mercy of players. So either we drastically overpay to acquire top tier players and basically compensate them for a year of no Champions League football and ruin our wage structure, or players just flat out reject us the way we have just been rejected by Maignan. So what has this led for Chelsea to do? Well, they're currently discussing a deal with Robert Sanchez at Brighton, who's been their number 2 for the better half of the second half of the season. He's been rotated with Jason Steele, who's an older goalkeeper, which tells me the level of this player. We've been linked with the Leeds goalkeeper. His name is absolutely leaving my head. I was about to call him Simon Millionaire, but that's a completely different goalkeeper from the past. And he said he's only going to come in if he's number 1, but he's not good enough to be number 1. Now we've been linked with Onana, and furthermore we have been linked with other goalkeepers like Raya, but Raya looks set to be going to Spurs. The problem now is we're getting reports from the Athletic stipulating that Chelsea apparently are happy with Kepa Arrizabalaga being our number 1. And this is mind-boggling to me, because whilst I am of the belief you don't sign players for the sake of signing them, I also believe you try to improve wherever it's possible. And Kepa is an area that has to be improved, people. Kepa is a player that, in my opinion at this moment in time, is a liability for this team. He's a detriment. He encourages people to take shots from far out because they know if they catch it clean enough and it's in the corners, due to Kepa's positioning and physical attributes such as his height, he's not getting there. And with his biscuit hands, we have a problem. By no means am I saying he's a horrible goalkeeper. I'm just saying he's not a great one. And the reality is, to be a great club, you need a great goalkeeper. There's an old adage that my grandfather told me. You're not going to win nothing without a great keeper. You are never going to be anything great. You can carry any position in the world apart from a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the key. He is the base of your team. He's the heart and soul. If he's making mistakes, everyone else around him is panicking because you can't trust that man. And the fact that Pochettino wants to trust Kepa Arrizabalaga for another year worries me. It really, really, really worries me, because this is a man that trusted Hugo Lloris through the prime of his years and didn't move him on when the time was right, and now Hugo is still there, and I do not want that with Kepa. These are my... The final story of the day is reverting to the striker, right? All of you know I've been screaming for striker, midfielder, and goalkeeper. So now we're going to talk about the striker, because we're getting some interesting interactions from all sides now. Because the striker is key, the striker is optimal, and the striker is the one Chelsea have been going on. Osimhen is the target, right? We all know we want to go after Osimhen, but 120 million just prevents us from going after. Osimhen's going to get priced out the market from Napoli. Napoli don't mess around. They don't sell players unless they have to. And it's very interesting, right, what's going on. Then we were looking at Tammy Abraham, and there was a buyback clause, so it was an easy deal to do. He got injured, so now that deal's off the table. I'll be honest with you, I'm low-key happy that that deal's off the table, because I don't think Tammy is Chelsea level. I'm really upset that Tammy got injured, because I actually think Tammy's a very good player, and I want him to have a long and illustrious career in Italy or some other club, but I just don't think he's Chelsea level. Like, I genuinely don't think that was the right move for the club to go after him, and it was a mistake that we were going to make. Like, I could have seen that move happen. It would have been one to pander for the fans, it would have been one to make fans get really excited, but the deal broke through. And in this case, at this moment in time, I think it's for the better of Chelsea that the deal broke through, because Tammy is not the solution. Tammy is not the solution. This is nothing of me wishing injury upon him or anything of that magnitude. I just don't think he's a football player that is of the caliber where Chelsea want to get to. I think he's a top 8 striker, top 6 striker at best. We want to get to the creme de la creme. We want to get to the top 3 levels, and he just doesn't cut it out for me. That's just my personal opinion. And you're gonna say, oh, we haven't got anyone else, but it doesn't mean you have to go and acquire someone that's of a similar level or worse, in my opinion. But moving on to who we have been linked with, and we've been linked with someone called Nicholas Jackson. I have never heard of this player in my life. I am going to struggle to construct an opinion on this player, because I saw a few clips, and that's all I know of him. I know he scored 8 goals in his last 9 games for Villarreal, and I know there's hype around him right now. So I'm going to be very reliant on what you guys say in the comments, because some of you watch a lot more football than me. I'll be honest, I'm in the Dominican right now. I ain't got time to be watching all that much football and doing research. I'm relaxing, but I still want to deliver you guys some content. But what worries me about this is we're spending £13 million on an individual that potentially would come in, and I don't think he's could be not better than Armando Broja, because if he was better than Armando Broja, I would have heard of him before. Like, you look at Victor Ricky, the one that Barcelona signed for 40 million. You look at Alvarez. I knew about these players prior for them blowing up, and the fact that I've never heard of him, the fact that even when he was scoring all these goals in La Liga, he was going under the radar. It really worries me to the level of and the caliber of players that we're going to be acquiring. I know a lot of people have got it in their heads now, we need to be like Brighton, we need to start buying players before they blow. The problem is Brighton are allowed to buy players before they blow, because of the fact that the reality is, if they're 9th, there's no difference. When we're 12th, there's a panic. My channel was literally almost blowing up in a negative way. Like, people were coming to just vent at me and rant at. Like, it was literally, we're losing every week. We can't handle this. We are Chelsea. Where are our standards gone? We can't have another year like this. This is why I think we should be going for 3 players, proven. Caicedo, Mike Maignan was my option. I'll take Onana at this moment in time and go get me a proper number 9, someone that's proven, someone that we know has scored goals at the top level for a consistent period of time. I would love somebody that's experienced. I really would. I don't want another young player, but it looks like we are going to get a young player. I personally, you know me, I am not Mr. Pro Cobham, everything Cobham is great. I think if you're good enough from Cobham, you get the minute. And I don't know whether Brozier's good enough, so I'm willing to have Brozier as the second choice striker and give him minutes and give him a fair bite at the cherry, which he should have got this year prior to his injury. Jetro Fofana, a lot of you are really pro him, but I don't know based on what have you seen so far in his career to not think he is ready for the Chelsea leap up. I don't see it. So guys, this was the Kavkas View. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out. There is no news today on Lukaku, Koulibaly or Nana because the saga with Inter Milan, it's getting pushed on and on and on, and there's nothing to report at this moment in time. I'll get you guys if there's anything big, but hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day, people.